Just want to welcome everyone to the Ursa Solar public hearing session. It's one of two public hearing sessions we're doing today at 1 and also at 6 p.m. We're going to be running those on Zoom and live streaming on YouTube. So there's plenty of ways to be connected and at least observe the hearing. And what we're doing today is collecting public comments on the case. So, you're probably familiar with the application and the Public Service Commission work on the case. We have a number of parties involved in the case, and we're going to be accepting the evidence from the parties and commission staff on Friday, and that'll be only on Zoom. So you'll just be able to connect through that Zoom link and observe that hearing. But today we're here to collect comments from members of the public, and that's a pretty simple process. I just have your appearance slips here in front of me. So if you do wish to speak, make sure you fill out one of these for people in the room. And if you want to, you can either write your comment on the appearance slip. You can also use the QR code and just type your comment on our online system, just doing that directly. Or if you want to speak, you just have to check the button, the little box here that says yes, speak now, and you check that yes. Then staff in the back of the room, they'll give me your appearance slip, and I'll read your name in the order that I've received them, at least approximately in that order. And I'll just have you come up to the front of the room here. I'll swear you in, have you state your name, and then just have a seat and give your comment. Just your opinion on the case, kind of open-ended. Just be respectful. We don't really have much of a time problem here today. Usually I say just be respectful so we can get all the comments in one session, but it shouldn't be an issue today. So give you a chance to speak your piece. And we're transcribing what you say, and the copy of the transcript will be provided to the 3 commissioners who run our agency and will make the decision on the application. And the commission has the authority to approve, deny, or modify and approve the application. So that's really your audience. You want to persuade and you want to communicate to the commissioners, and they'll read your comment when they're reviewing the entire record. So I don't think that much else to review here. Oh, just the one big rule here is just speak slowly and clearly, more slowly and clearly than I am speaking, hopefully, so that the court reporter can hear what you're saying and record it all accurately. So that's our main goal here. So with that, no further ado, I'm going to call our first witness. So it looks like it's Shar Holtan. Is that right? Is it Holtan? Did you want to speak?
Yes.
Okay. Well, please come up to the front here.
Not a good speakers. Either. Okay.
All right.
Here.
Have a seat. Yeah. And the swearing in, so raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So speak slowly and clearly into the mic, and hopefully all this will work.
I would like to make the statement that we
Can you
need.
hear it? I'm just gonna get that. It's kind of tricky microphone here. Need to get a little closer to the mic. I think it should work.
Okay, everybody can hear me now? Yes.
Right.
Hello, there we go. I'm a firm believer that every farmer, every landowner should be able to do what they wish with their property. In the solar world, my understanding is that if a farmer who doesn't have, or a landowner who does not have a solar contract, wanted to plant, let's say, a tree on their property to kind of hide some of the solar panels in the field. That tree shades the solar panels. They have to either trim their tree, cut their tree down, whatever. I believe the solar connection should be 500 feet from anybody who is not using or participating in the solar service or program, I should say. And the reason for that is I don't know of any tree that shadows 500 feet. I don't know of any barn unless it's a skyscraper, which would not be found here, would shadow the solar panels. So that protects then the farmer or the landowner who is not participating. And I think we need to protect both sets of people. Everybody lives in the country for different reasons. And I think one of them is to be able to do what they want to do on their land. So that's why I'm a firm believer of a 500-foot setback from non-participants.
Okay. Anything else?
And that's it.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
Sure.
All right. Well, we have two other people that are in the room here. I think I'm just going to keep going with the in-room people for now. We do have a couple of people joining us on Zoom, but let's start with Don Soder. You guys can choose if you want. I just is on the your list slip is on the top, so sorry about that. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right. So give us your name and speak into the mic. Deep breath.
I know. Okay. My name is Dawn Soder. I live in the Courtland Township. I live around where the solar plants. I don't call them farms, but where they plan to go up. On that paper, it says the mark there, speaking for yourself. I'm here for myself, but I'm also here for our community who has a lot of concerns about this project that is that they're, the solar project that Ursa and Langdon Mills
Go ahead. Didn't want to
is
just
doing. So I'm just gonna, I have so many of them, but I'm just gonna touch on a few. We moved out in the country too, not just because we moved out there because we enjoy the wildlife. And solar plants will affect our wildlife, such as birds. We are now having bald eagles nesting in the area around Courtland Township, as well as many other birds. Now, people want to take that away by taking down all these trees and installing this industrial scale project. Solar plants are a danger to our larger wildlife as well. There should not be a project as big as this without first some studies done by a DNR to see how it will affect our precious wildlife. There are large swatches of land that will be fenced and limited movement by any large creature who currently call this area home. And we have a lot of creatures right in our own backyard. I also worry about the panels, wind, and I'm sure they will. Fire is a big thing that I worry about. We have a small fire department, volunteer fire department. How will we handle this? Also, damaged and cracked panels will, if they're damaged and cracked, will pollute the soil. Into nearby. But also our crops and drinking water supply. For those of us living around or downhill from these projects, we should not have to worry about our drinking water. I should not have to worry if when my grandchildren come over or even my spouse and I, and they drink the water, do I have to worry that it's contaminated? I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to worry about that. And I also want to comment on the attack from Langdon Mills and Ursa of our township's intervener, Lauren Tunn. Langdon Mills representatives are saying that the concerns she has addressed are just her opinion and not the communities. If you would take a look at the referendum on this spring's election ballot from this past April regarding solar developments such as Langdon Mills, you will see that the Courtland Township voted 79% against having this type of development in our township. So that just goes to show you how we feel in this area. So far, Langdon Mills and Ursa say that they have the community support. However, I'm sorry, but that is a bunch of bull. As for our intervener, she gathers information, comments, and concerns from all of us, from our townspeople, and has tried to represent it to the commissioners for them to review. So far, Langdon Mills has not attempted to make or compromise on these issues, even though one of her concerns addresses a medical condition. I asked the commission to deny this project. If you can't find it in your decision to do that, I am asking that the commission break up the large portions of fenced-in areas to allow more of our wildlife to be able to move around in the movement. I ask that there be berms installed around all inverters throughout the project to reduce noise to non-participating landowners such as myself. And especially, I'm here too we have neighbors who are going to be surrounded 3 or 4 ways by these. One neighbor is leaving our community, leaving his dream for this. That is just so sad to me. And I don't blame them, because this is going to be right on top of them. They were going to have so much noise, and you have to worry about these panels. And it just makes me so sad. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here. I ask that visual barriers be placed throughout the project to minimize views for non-participating landowners. Please help us protect our homes and our families.
Your comment.
Yep.
And let's take Lloyd Sauter next. All right. Swear in, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
This solar project should not happen for many reasons. First, we have no assurances that there will be no pollution to the groundwater or surface water from these projects as they are built or as they are run later on. These panels are almost solely produced in China and India with basically slave labor and in areas where pollution made during production is not monitored. If safety and pollution were not an issue, we could have the equipment built here in the US and not have Chinese companies through shell corporations in India and South Korea come to the US and sell a bill of goods feeding on the green energy frenzy. The world is starving, and now we shouldn't use prime farmland for ineffective solar arrays. The production of panels and other components, shipping from China, building the arrays will cause more of a carbon footprint than will be saved by not using other more efficient means of electrical production. Studies have not been done on the environmental impact of these arrays. It's funny that the farmers who for so long have opposed the use of farmland for any other projects will not go along with these arrays if they think they can make a few dollars. The peaceful solitude and natural scenic beauty these farmers have fought to protect is now to be thrown away because they are either too lazy or not good enough at their craft to make enough money to satisfy their greed. I've heard the term, I lost my spot here.
Take your time. You're okay.
I've heard the term ethanol corn ground thrown around lately, that this is the only thing that this project is going to take is ethanol corn ground. Before the ethanol was here, which has not been that long, farmers in the area grew more peas, beets, cabbage, sweet corn, and other foods for human consumption. When ethanol came in, yes, a lot of those crops seem to go by the wayside. When there is a problem at one of these sites, who's going to take responsibility for the damages? How will our fire department handle this when it takes the whole county to fight a trash fire in Portage? Big business will pay their way out of the fixes that need to be done, and those of us who live here will be stuck with the damages to our environment. Please deny this project and let more efficient, less invasive solutions be used. Use solar at the individual level where problems could be handled easily. Oh, but then big business wouldn't be making any money. We are to go from big oil companies to now big electric companies. Doesn't seem to make any more sense to me. Let's take a step back, make educated decisions, and do what's right the first time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm just checking on Zoom. It doesn't look like we have any participants from the public connected, so I'm just going to continue on with our people in-house here. So you have Ken Kellenbrink. Click here and have a seat. Thank you. So I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So just have you state your name and give us your opinion on the case, and you want to speak right into the microphone there.
Okay. My name is Ken Kalenbrink. We need spelling on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
I'm here to talk in opposition to the solar project. It was pointed out before that the referendum we had in the town of Courtland, the vote was 140 against solar, 37 for. That shows widespread public opposition to this project. I believe the PSC today is looking for solutions to this, why we could have other forms of energy. We already have one over in Portage, the Portage Power Plant. That's been supplying our power for years. It could go on supplying our power for years. This so-called green energy is not green. If you look at the pollution that is produced to make the panels, install the panels, ship them over here, all that goes in with it, it is not very green. Another thing we should be addressing is why so many companies are coming here in this area. It's because Wisconsin does not have any laws regulating this. We need regulations. There should be setbacks statewide, not just town by town, county by county, statewide regulations. Setbacks, 500 feet from a property line, 500 feet from a house, 1,000 feet, whatever makes sense. I believe now Langdon Mills has proposed 25 feet from property lines. That is way too close. It reduces property values. It does no good for the people living here. And I'm not anti-solar. If they want to come and put solar panels on the roof of my house, I've got a nice flat south-facing roof that they could put solar panels on, but don't put them on prime farmland. You're taking this land out of production for 30, 35 years. They say they're going to restore it. That remains to be seen yet what could be restored after they tear it all up, drive in steel pilings, put in gravel roads, and everything like that. This project came about in great secrecy. They started signing up property owners 2 or 3 years ago. If it was such a great project, why the secrecy? The only reason I found out about this project was because they needed an access across my land to hook up solar fields that would be on each side of my property. I did not give them this access. If that means stopping the project, I hope it does. I can see no benefit for the local community in this. Property values go down. What's it going to do to our tax base? And we've seen a lot of people oppose this, and I'm one of them. And I wish I had prepared my thoughts better before coming here, but I just wanted to talk. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Well, thanks for your comment. Okay, the last appearance that I have for the moment is Doug Medima. I keep getting that wrong. I'm sorry. I should know it by now, though. You'll have to correct me.
That's quite all right.
So I'm going to swear you in first.
Okay,
All right, so raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, I do.
So give us your name correctly.
Okay, they pronounce it around here, Doug Smeedema,
All right,
so it's pronounced right.
and give us your comment.
Yeah, I'm retired now, 5 years from master electrician, and I'm also on the Randolph Fire Department, and I do know that there's not a single fire department in the area that's for this solar panel system. I myself have 20 acres, which is supposedly 0.6 of a mile away from where the nearest 8-foot high fence is going to be for phase one. And I do agree with all the past speakers that number one, my number one concern is property values will be dropping. That's for sure. And I don't believe Samsung or their representatives have approached any of these people on this map. I had to draw this map myself because I don't believe Samsung will come out and say how close they're going to be to everybody's property with these 20 miles of 8-foot high fencing. Also, I've worked on inverters before, and this phase one is calling for 77 inverters, making constant noise all day long whenever there's a little bit of daylight. And we have to put up with that. We also have to put up with probably as many as 1,000 semis coming in here, pounding our roads to pieces. I've stopped improvements on my property. I stopped buying trees. I stopped planting trees. And also I know personally people that work for Alliant Energy, and behind closed doors, Alliant Energy is saying that there's only a fraction of the power is going to come out of this project for what Samsung says it's going to come out. So, and like Ken mentioned, they came in the dark of night in secrecy. Don't tell anybody. Let's get all the contracts signed first. And now we find out there's no environmental study going to happen. With 20 miles of 8-foot high fencing, we don't need an environmental study. And I also believe that Samsung should have done an economic study before they even set foot in this area. I guess that's about all I've gotten written down, but I just want to say again, I don't believe the Public Service Commission has got an exact detailed map yet of, I know they've got somewhat of maps, but I had to personally make this map, and there's approximately 40 residences on here that are going to be affected by this. And then we're pretty much told that just eat it. That's basically what they're telling us. So,
Okay. Well, you know, I can take a picture of that map and I can attach it to your appearance slip.
oh, sure.
So that it will be available for the commission to look at.
Or yeah, you can actually keep that if you'd like.
Oh, okay, that's great. And I'll probably be taking a photo of it just to get it on your electronic form, but yeah, I'll put that here with your appearance slip.
Okay,
Perfect. All right.
thank you for listening to
Well,
me.
thanks for participating. So do we have any other people who wish to comment in the room at this point? That's all the appearance slips I have. Anyone else wish to speak? No, not yet. So I think it's fair. It's only been 24 minutes. So let's take about a 10-minute break, see if someone else shows up by then. And at that point, we'll adjourn and we'll start up again at 6 p.m. So it's about 1:25, so 1:35 around that time, we'll start up again and see if there's anyone else who wishes to speak. In the meantime, for people on Zoom, we're just going to mute the audio and video and just stay on the connection. So it's a little after 1:35. Break and see if we received any more members of the public yet that wish to. No, all right. So we'll see you then. Thanks everyone for joining us.